Lewis Hamilton made a statement that could reshape Ferrari's entire outlook. After weeks of setbacks, internal confusion, and performances that fell short of expectations, he finally identified something within the car that no one had previously noticed. A concrete and specific discovery that is already beginning to show real signs of progress. So before we dive into all the surprising details of this revelation, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end, because what Hamilton just uncovered could mark a turning point for the Italian team this season. At first glance, the Grand Prix held in Miami didn't seem particularly remarkable. Hamilton started in 12th and crossed the line in 6th. Ferrari, once again, stumbled over questionable strategic decisions and internal traffic management issues. However, behind this seemingly mediocre result, something much more significant began to emerge: a shift in attitude, a new kind of energy, and most importantly, a technical breakthrough in the car that Hamilton described as finally coming to life. For the first time this season, Hamilton said he felt a genuine connection with the car. It wasn't just about grip or straight-line speed. It was something deeper, a sense of mechanical alignment that top-tier drivers like him need to perform at their peak. According to him, after overtaking slower cars, the vehicle began responding in a way it never had before, feeling alive, balanced, and competitive. For a driver like Hamilton, who relies heavily on steering feedback and confidence in corner entry, this shift represents a huge leap forward. Even more importantly, Hamilton confirmed that Ferrari has finally pinpointed the root cause of their recent performance loss. After several confusing race weekends where the car behaved inconsistently in qualifying and lacked stability over long runs, the team now claims to know exactly what the issue is. Hamilton reported that the flaw has been identified, and the fix is already in the pipeline. He stated that they lost performance in recent events, but they know where it went and are just waiting to restore it. In Formula One, where precision is everything, having this level of clarity is extremely promising. This progress marks a significant break from the vague narrative the team had maintained since the beginning of the championship. Up until recently, both the engineers and drivers were speaking in terms of ongoing analysis and experimental approaches. Expressions like "we're investigating" or "we're exploring other directions" were common. This time the message is entirely different. They've found the problem, they're acting on it, and Hamilton is already feeling the improvement on track. This performance gain appears to be linked to how the car interacts with the tires, particularly in its ability to maintain surface temperature and rear-end grip during stints. In earlier races, Hamilton had reported a lack of rear stability when entering corners, a trait attributed to both the floor design and aerodynamic balance. The car would either understeer or snap unpredictably. But in Miami, once he found clean air, he noticed progressive grip and a consistent balance that gave him confidence. For the first time, he wasn't fighting the machine. He was in control of it. Unfortunately, that moment of clarity was compromised by Ferrari's familiar Achilles heel: strategic hesitation. Even with fresher tires, Hamilton was stuck behind another car and had to ask permission to pass. The team took too long to respond, and by the time he was cleared, his tires were already past their prime. In hot conditions like those in Florida, even a single lap in dirty air with excessive sliding can ruin a tire set. And that's exactly what happened. Former driver Jenson Button, commenting on the race, said Hamilton shouldn't have even had to ask. That decision should have been preset before the start. Still, Hamilton didn't let that moment overshadow the real story of the weekend. He avoided public criticism, and when asked about his sarcastic radio messages, he answered calmly, saying they were just heat-of-the-moment reaction. He even downplayed any frustration, explaining that he prefers to keep things internal and stay focused on helping the team improve. This behavior reflects a major shift in Hamilton's mindset. Compared to the start of the season, it's no longer about adapting. Now it's about refining a machine he's finally beginning to trust. Sources close to Ferrari's headquarters suggest that Hamilton has taken a more active role in recent weeks, attending more technical meetings, pushing for setup changes, and leveraging the vast experience he accumulated during his years with Mercedes. His presence is being felt not just in the garage, but throughout the car's development path. The car is gradually evolving in a way that suits Hamilton's driving style. There's still work to be done, especially in low-speed traction and braking consistency. But the foundation is strengthening. There's a growing belief within Ferrari that the next major update, expected in the coming 2 races, could directly target the issues Hamilton has been struggling with. This upgrade package will reportedly include a redesigned floor, a revised diffuser, and new rear suspension geometry, all aimed at enhancing both traction and aerodynamic consistency. If these updates deliver what the data and simulators suggest, Hamilton's breakthrough in Miami could be just the start of a rising trajectory. But none of this will matter if Ferrari continues to falter in execution. Race strategy remains a weakness. In-race communication needs to improve. The team must learn to anticipate rather than just react, because the raw ingredients are beginning to come together. Hamilton has found rhythm. The car is starting to respond. The engineers have identified the flaws, but Formula One is unforgiving. Margins are razor-thin, and every misstep can be costly. Ferrari simply cannot afford to keep throwing away points due to indecision. The timing is critical. If Hamilton can carry this newfound feeling into circuits like Imola, Monaco, and Canada, each with completely different characteristics, then it will be clear that this wasn't a one-off. It will prove the change is real. And when Hamilton has a car he truly trusts, history shows what he's capable of. This wasn't the story anyone expected to tell after Miami. Statistically, nothing stood out. A 6th-place finish, strategic missteps, another weekend where Ferrari failed to challenge the frontrunners. On the surface, it was more of the same. But beneath it, something subtle and deeply important began to shift. And even if it didn't show up on the timesheets or in post-race headlines, it could become a turning point in the Hamilton-Ferrari partnership. Because what happened on that American track wasn't about points. It wasn't about overtakes, not even about strategy errors, though they certainly happened. It was about connection. For the first time this season, Hamilton began to truly bond with the machine under him. Not just tolerate it, not just battle it, but understand it, feel it, start to trust it. That kind of synergy between man and machine can't be faked. It can't be forced. It either happens or it doesn't, and up until now, it hadn't happened. It's easy to overlook moments like this when they aren't accompanied by trophies or champagne. But in Formula One, progress isn't always linear. It doesn't always come in the form of a podium. Sometimes it shows up behind the scenes, in a post-race engineering meet, in a change of a driver's language, in his tone when talking about the car. And for Hamilton, that tone has changed. The frustration is gone. The vagueness has lifted. What's taken its place is clarity, precision, a sense of momentum that had been completely absent. What this means going forward could be monumental, because if Hamilton has finally found the foundation he needed, and if Ferrari is truly working with precision on the core issues, then the future opens up. Suddenly, the targets shift. The mentality transforms. The team is no longer just surviving, it's building, learning, improving. And with a driver of Hamilton's caliber, that process can accelerate fast. His track record proves it. Give him a car he can feel, one he can trust, and he doesn't just become fast. He becomes dangerous, relentless, tactical, able to deliver performances that others simply can't replicate. This is the version of Lewis Hamilton Ferrari hired. This is the driver they believed could return them to the top. And for the first time since putting on the red suit, that version is starting to appear. Miami didn't bring a miracle, but it may have brought something even more valuable, a foundation. And in a sport where thousandths of a second matter, a solid foundation is everything. Because with the right data, proper understanding, and the right mental state, one good weekend can turn into a breakthrough into momentum, and momentum into results. This could be the beginning of that journey, quiet, unexpected, but powerful. And if the feeling Hamilton experienced in Miami wasn't a fluke, if it can be repeated, nurtured, and strengthened, then this may be the moment we'll look back on and say it was where everything began. Not the comeback, not the dominant, but the belief. The belief that with Lewis Hamilton at the wheel, Ferrari is finally heading in the right direction.